Today we are here with Mariana Hermida from Puerto Rico, studying at Bryan University, state of New York. Um, Ciao Mariana.
Ciao Alessandro.
Mariana has joined our internship program in Termina, Sicily at the Center for Italian Language and Culture, Babylonia. And we would like to ask you a couple of questions, Mariana. Well, first of all, why did you decide to go to an internship program abroad?
Well, because I think that it's the best way to prepare ourselves for the future in the workplace and in another country where you can learn another culture and you can see how business works in different countries, especially for me that I study international business with a minor in Italian, of course. So I think that's the best way.
And why in particular did you decide to pick up an internship program in Sicily, in Taormina, in fact?
Especially in Sicily because going to a place where less students are less known to come, so I will be obligated to immerse myself in the culture. And for example, if I decided to Florence, I would be with American students, with students studying English, Spanish, and I wouldn't force myself to speak in Italian. So, and I have proven that to be right because now I feel like I have immersed myself in the Italian culture.
So your Italian improved.
Oh yes, definitely, definitely. I think now my Italian is better than my English. So,
Okay, great. Um, well, could you tell us a little bit more about with who and where uh, have you had your internship with which organization?
I have worked with a art culture organization called Taormina Imagine. We have worked with the Float Art Festival and the Chocolate Art Festival. Basically, these two festivals are two exhibitions where I have worked with the organization to get sponsors, use marketing, social media, and to promote these festivals, which are to attract more tourists to Sicily and to promote the culture and the art, of course.
Do you feel you had the opportunity to practice what you have previously learned on books, more theoretically at university, in the real world?
Oh, yes. It's not the same thing learning from a book and learning in a classroom than learning and experiencing it firsthand. And of course, with a person that we in Italian, because my boss, Donatella, she only spoke to me in Italian, which was a great experience.
Um, from your perspective, how would you uh, what would you say are the main differences in doing business in United States and in Italy?
I think the main difference is that in the US, you don't get to have the same connection that you can have in Italian with your boss or with your manager. I think it's a more kind of a individual working, not as much as a group, and learning and working with your boss and manager here. Um, I mean, I got to build a relationship with my boss, Donatella. So it's a more relaxed environment, kind of, yeah, a more relaxed environment.
All right. From a more professional business um, um, way of thinking, in what you feel you have enriched your experience, and how your experience has been enriched by this internship.
How it has been enriched.
Enriched, yeah. What what have you learned, if anything, which you didn't really know before?
Maybe how here the culture you have to how do you say it? Oh, my English.
Yeah.
interrelate to people and like people from different cultures, because here there's people from Switzerland and Germany, France, and I guess like learning how to relate to them, because everyone's definitely different.
So relations in
Yeah, building relationships with different cultures and different kind of people.
all right, okay, and yeah, and I think this is not very easy. I mean, it's
No,
one thing is dealing with
definitely.
the same culture.
Because, I mean, me coming from Puerto Rico and transferring to the US, you may think that it's a bit of a kind of experience, different experience than I had in Puerto Rico, but actually I never knew this, because American culture is very similar to Puerto Rico, and you can, it's not as much as different, but coming here to Italy was a completely different experience.
Okay, and just a last question, just a final comment on the whole experience. You're about to get back home in a few days. Unfortunately, this is going to
I'm
be
sad.
quite sad. But again, just a phrase or two to a general comment to your program here. Well, in fact, you didn't only have the internship. You also attended some more courses. Which were the courses you attended here?
I got the Mafia course, Camilleri course, which is a literature course, the series of Montalbano and the detective stories. I got to an Italian, obviously an Italian language course, and the Italian language course, Mafia,
Yeah, and literature. Yeah.
yeah, and history, the history of Sicily.
Okay, general comment on your courses at the center.
Uh, I think I've learned more in 4 months than I have learned in all of my years of education.
Oh,
Definitely, because it's some one-to-one class with your professor, so you get to have better, I guess, a special treatment, I guess.
hmm. Okay, well, your last phrase before saying goodbye and see you soon.
Well, thank you, Italy and Sicily, for the best experience of my life.
Thanks to you,
And thanks,
Mariana.
Babilonia and Alessandro,
It was
and all
a
of my professors.
it was
Thank
a real pleasure to have you around in this month here at the Center for Italian Language Culture, and hope to see you back sometimes in the
Definitely will
future.
be back. Hope so.
Grazie. Ciao.
Grazie.